Hi guys, welcome to this session in Microsoft Excel. In this module, I want to show you how you can highlight a selection when it is active. So what I've got here at the moment is a data validation list with people's names in it. If I select John, it gives me John's details. But what I want to happen is when I do that, I want this row to be highlighted so I know where the information is coming from. So what I'm going to do is just delete this chart off and add a few extra people to this little table. So I'll add Bill, Ben, and Weed. Give them some scores, so 33, 44, 55. And then make this a little bit bigger so we can see it. I'm going to name this table Staff. So highlighting this table, calling it Staff. Make sure you press Enter if you name it through that option. So that's now called Staff. And then I'm coming down here, just color that in yellow, and I'm going to name this cell Input. So over to the name box there, Input, pressing Enter. And then what I need to do is copy these labels, just copy them, paste them above this yellow cell. And that's going to be a percent, so I'll format that to percent. And just to tidy this a little bit up, I'll put borders on, which I've got up here on the quick access toolbar, borders. So what I want in this cell is a data validation list like that one that covers all of these people. So first of all, get myself there, go to the data tab, go across to data tools, data validation, and where it says any value, I'm changing that to list. And then in this example, I'm just going to highlight this list, which is a fixed list, $, you can see it there. I'm not going to bother with anything else in here, but for now, I'll just click OK to that and just check that I've got a list. I have. I'll click on a person, Dave. So when I select Dave, I want this line to be highlighted. So this is how you do it. You highlight the table like that, not the titles. You go back to Home. You go to Conditional Formatting, down to Manage Rules. And then when you get the Rules Manager box up, you click in New Rule. And you're going for this Formula option. You only get one bar, so I'm clicking on that. I'm clicking on the top left-hand cell there. I need to be locking the column, but not the row. So I'm going to press F4 twice, once, twice. So the column B is locked, but the row is not. And then I'm doing equals, and I'm clicking onto that yellow cell where it says Dave. So if that's true, and then want to format that as a color, I'll go for orange, like that. Clicking OK to that, OK to that, OK to that. So if I select somebody else, it will highlight that person and that person's details. So the last thing I need to do is just do either a VLOOKUP or an XLOOKUP to bring in the information there. I'll do a VLOOKUP equals VL, comes up to the top. It's the only one actually, pressing tab. So the lookup value is this yellow cell, which I've called input, comma. The table is called staff, comma. The first column that I want in that table is column 2, comma, and then I want an exact match, which I can either put the word false in there or 0. I'm going to go for 0. Close that bracket, click the tick. I get the percentage there for Peter. So I can pull that over. I don't need $signs because I've named it. I pull it over. It'll say 35 again, but what I need to do now is click on this and just change the column reference to 3. Change it to 3, click the tick, and that should bring that in. So if I just do the same thing again with the XLOOKUP, you'll see the difference to those of you who are using XLOOKUP. So equals XL, press tab, lookup value is still Peter in this case, input, comma, this is where it changes slightly. So he wants to know where the list of names is. So this is the list of names, comma, the return array is the other two columns. So I'll highlight them both like that. You don't need to do all the rest of this if you don't want. So I'm just going to close the bracket, click the tick, and that will fill it in both of them together. So it's a little bit quicker if you do XLOOKUP. You've got a few more options. You don't have to pull it across like you do on the VLOOKUP. And then if you want to finish the whole thing off, you can create yourself a little donut chart insert. Sits inside the pie charts, donut, and then that'll drop on there for whoever you select. Peter, I'll go for data callouts, see what that looks like. Follow that little arrow across, and then data callout gives you that option there. You can just pull these apart if you want, and I don't need the labels at the bottom if I'm going to do that. I'll just pull that over there a bit so it's pointing in. So now if I change the person, if I come back and change the person to say Dave again, this now reacts to that and shows you Dave's completion and remaining work to be done. So that's all I want to talk about in this little video, how you can highlight data that has been selected with conditional formatting. So hopefully that video was of use. Thank you for your time, and I'll catch you on the next one.